Hello, everybody. Before we start today's episode, I wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. A former guest of ours, Scott Kirkhark, has recently been in, I believe, a motorcycle accident. Excuse me. His lower vertebrae right now look broken. At the time this is being recorded, they're awaiting surgery. And it's just kind of a, scary situation. So I wanted to give my condolences to Scott. He's a really good, genuine guy, and it's really unfortunate that this happened to him. I encourage everybody to consider going to Broken Strings Inc. You can just Google that. They have the website, I'm pretty sure, is the same, Broken Strings Inc. And just give a couple of dollars donation to help him out through this. And that's all. Here's some ads, and then enjoy the episode.
Guys, we have a huge announcement to make. The McAllister Hours podcast is going to be doing something completely new and different. We're going to be creating our first ever action comedy film entitled The Chronic Crusaders, about one of our favorite subjects, cannabis. We have already got a solid cast and crew behind this project with the goal of releasing on April 24. Now, as everyone in show business knows, the one thing you desperately need to get a film started is funding. And that's where you, the listener, come in. Even if you only have $1 or $2 to spare, this helps us tremendously. So, if you're a fan of the podcast and want to help, this is your chance. Please check out the link in the description for the Kickstarter to donate. Again, we appreciate all the listeners for tuning in every week, and we hope you consider helping this dream become a reality. Stutterbox Productions is a backbone for many of the events that you see in the Midwest, from EDM festivals to late-night hip-hop shows. This company has been working closely with this podcast since the beginning, and we always have plenty of things planned for the future. So, if you're looking to plan your next gig or event, head over to their Facebook page to learn more today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the McAllister's podcast. I'm your host, always, Cole McAllister. We're joined today. We got two special guests who have their own podcast, the Infamous G.O.A.T.S. We're joined by Josiah and Cellus. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good, man.
Good.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good. We were taking a break on the podcast, so we've been kind of doing a few more these last couple of days, and you guys are here in the docket, so it's good to have you in. And you recently had someone who we actually just put out. Aubrey Barnes. So that's kind of how I heard about you guys. I really liked what you guys did, so I was like, fuck yeah. Or no, I guess you guys actually reached out to me, didn't you? Technically.
I remember you sent me a DM first.
Oh, did I? Okay, maybe it was me. But yeah, no, I mean, I really like what you guys do. You know, you're starting out and doing your thing. Let me ask you, let's just get into it. Like what made you start the podcast? What kind of goes into that for those who don't know?
So what I want to say it was last June when the idea came up. I think, well, for starters, for me, it started, I used to do YouTube back in high school. But I was kind of just imitating other content creators that I saw, and I really didn't like the content because it wasn't me. So I got into video directing, and then ultimately, that helped me own in on my editing skills. But I got tired of that because I was dealing with unprofessional people, so it just took the love out of it. So, yeah, I just stopped doing it for a year and a half, and then podcast really came up when COVID hit.
Yeah,
that was when I really started getting into that, and I knew I wanted to do that, so I brought the idea up to him, and it was just brewing for a few weeks, and then we actually put our foot forward towards it.
You what, sorry?
It was brewing for a few weeks, and then we just put our foot forward.
Oh, you just put it out. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
But it was some months. It built up for some months because
hell yeah.
We had to get our logo made. We had to come up with a name. What took 2 weeks?
Yeah, we had some names in the mix that just didn't work.
A lot of names, and then I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of hesitant on putting my name out there because I'm not a big social media person.
Sure.
But Cellus really got me out of my comfort zone, and shit, I love what I'm doing now.
Hell yeah! So what goes into the name? What started that?
I think we had two names that we were down to. It was Young Goats, and then it was Infamously Black.
Yeah. No BS.
Yeah. we just didn't know which direction to go. I'm like,
exactly.
I'm like, then I said, what if we just combined it?
And then Infamous G.O.A.T.S, here he is.
Yeah, and then like an acronym. We wanted to make an acronym out of it, so we were thinking of it for days and days. And then I was like, what's a great acronym we could use? And then that's when it came to me. Grateful of all the struggles.
Okay.
Because we both come from similar backgrounds.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was gonna say it's a little cocky to just come out and be like, "Yeah, where'd it go?"
No, definitely not.
No, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I love what you guys are doing. I love anytime I see someone like creating. You know, a lot of people like kind of give me shit like, "Oh, here's another white boy starting a podcast." You know what I mean? I'm just like, you know what? Everybody should start a fucking podcast. You know,
man.
It's so cheap. Like I think anybody that I think anybody can add some kind of value to a conversation. You know,
Exactly right.
So I mean, and look, if they can't, at least you tried, right? You know.
Yeah, I think this podcast like avenue is definitely just giving you a different perspective because you having conversations with people that you essentially wouldn't have on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great. I mean, for years, we've had like complete strangers, just coming like to my home like twice a week, and like when you do that for 3, it's weird. Like you get used to it, but you kind of step back and you're like, oh, this is kind of a weird little thing we're doing. So you guys at least have that barrier with the Zoom. You don't necessarily need to invite people.
Yeah, we thought we both have our own separate apartments, so having a studio really didn't work out because we both like we said, we broke college students.
Exactly.
So yeah, we had to make something out of it. But Zoom was also that avenue that was becoming popular during COVID. So I was learning my way around that.
Sure. Well, that's when this podcast started was COVID. I think that was kind of not the last, but like one of the more recent like major trains of like podcasts. Because like Joe Rogan had been doing it for like a decade or so earlier. But like COVID, that was kind of just when like everyone hopped on it. It was a good time to do it.
Everybody in the house, and it's like
nothing but free time.
Literally. So yeah, we hopped on kind of late, but I feel like we find our own lane with it because we were kind of expanding into like different things and more than just a podcast. So me and Cellus have been talking about some stuff.
My name already.
Hey, he been wearing off on me, man.
I thought I was gonna be the one to fuck it up.
But yeah, me and Cellus, we have conversations all the time. It's like, what's next for us? What's next? Like,
hell yeah.
You just want to keep building the building. I think that the whole thing, we didn't want to be one dimensional. We wanted to be a podcast, but we got many interests, and we wanted to touch on those many interests, but in different ways, and not necessarily just talking about them all the time.
Right.
Hell yeah. Well, I can relate to that. The podcast is officially heading. We're going to be doing our a superhero stoner comedy film. Which is right now, was it the Chronic Crusaders? Was that the name? The Chronic Crusaders. So yeah, go donate to us for that, because that's the one thing you need when you make a movie. Money. What's
that process like? Because I've always getting into film is something that I'm very passionate about. That's what I'm going to school for now. So
hell yeah,
and Josiah was telling me that you make your own movies and stuff, and I wanted to know what was that process like.
I guess I've always kind of had. Does she need to go out? All right, maybe we should take a break quick. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you good.
All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, the old dogs rule the house. We gotta fucking zoo through here. So sorry, you were asking about the filming process. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, the first thing you need is a script, right? You need an idea, and then you need a crew, you need a cast, money. That's the biggest thing. Honestly, like I would argue the money should sometimes come before the script, because like I'm at a point right now where I wrote the script and now I'm like, oh, I need to get the money, and I'm like already like putting all these like pre-production things in effect, but I'm like, oh, I don't really have any money. So donate, motherfuckers. Besides that, it's just it's just about connections. A resource I highly recommend is Iowa Films Facebook page.
Okay,
that's where I find so many actors, so many crew people. Like that's a really good place to start if you want some kind of like baseline to figure that out. But hell yeah! So how long have you been doing? How long have you been doing film and that kind of stuff? Would you say?
So I want to say I've always loved movies, man. Like growing up, man, I didn't go outside, but so movies is what. Yeah, movies is sort of my escape.
Yeah, I can relate to that, man.
Yeah, so I just got kind of lost in all the stories that I was watching. So I don't know. It's just always been important to me. And now that I'm older, I understand the process more of like how to make a film. So that's just something I want to be a part of. That's what I'm gonna strive to be.
Hell yeah. So you guys have you've been doing a lot of movie reviews and that kind of stuff. That's kind of one of the things I noticed about your podcast. I was like, hey, I really like that you guys just kind of take movies and delve and talk about it. Like what type of movies are you into, and like do you guys have a couple favorites that come off the dome like
of all time?
Yeah.
Of all,
you go first, man.
oh, damn, you gonna think you the movie guy?
It's a hard question.
That's a hard question, man.
Oh, man, off the top, that's kind of tough, but
Top 5.
I can't do that right now.
He's like just a couple. Like
I can tell you some good movies we reviewed this year. Like my favorite movie that's flawless to me that we reviewed this year is Creed 3.
I haven't seen any of the Creeds.
Really?
Yeah.
Creed 3 was pretty good.
Like, what else? Mission Impossible. Are you a fan of that series?
It's all right.
What?
The last one was really good. The last one was really good.
I didn't realize how many of those fucking movies they made, because they have a new one, like the 7th one coming out, and that's like a 2-parter. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we went to go see it.
Yeah.
We reviewed it for the podcast, so it'll be coming out soon. But man, that movie was really good.
Real good.
Hell yeah.
But me, favorite movies. That's a good one. I would say Rudy.
Oh, like the football movie.
Yeah, the football movie. Rudy. That's one of my favorites of all time.
But why? I guess just curious. Like, why is that like a favorite?
Because just the underdog, somebody that's been counted out his whole life.
Sure.
Proving everybody wrong.
So you like the story?
Yeah, I like the story.
Okay. Hell yeah.
And wow, that's tough, man.
Yeah, it's real tough. Yeah.
I guess what about like do you guys got any favorite directors? Like
yeah, most definitely. I think
John Singleton for me. It's like
John Singleton is a GOAT. He directed Boys in the Hood.
Hell yeah. Boys in the Hood's good.
Yeah, he created the show Snowfall, but
okay.
My favorite directors, I would say Martin Scorsese is one of them.
Oh yeah, he's got that new one coming out.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
that looks really good. Antoine Fuqua, he's one of my favorite directors.
What has he done?
He did Training Day.
Ooh, that was a really good.
He did all the Equalizer movies.
Oh, so he worked with Denzel. Okay.
Oh man, it's a lot of directors.
Train Day's a fucking fantastic film.
Yeah, Spielberg.
King Kong ain't got shit on me. Like that whole spill, like I know that word for word. You motherfuckers.
That movie is like just an anxiety-inducing trip. Like from beginning to end, you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
freaking out.
And it was like a different role for Denzel because I never seen Denzel like play the bad guy, but shit, he killed it.
Yeah,
that was pretty early in his career.
It's crazy. That was the first Oscar he won. Really? Was that the first Oscar he won?
I don't know.
I know he won an Oscar for the role, but I feel like he's had better roles that deserve an Oscar, like the Hurricane season.
John Q.
Never saw that.
Yeah, one of his best roles to me.
John Q. What other movies he played in? Crazy, I'm going blank right now. I can't think of Denzel Washington movies. That's crazy.
Philadelphia.
Oh, he was in Philadelphia, wasn't he? That was with Tom Hanks?
Yep.
The football movie.
Oh, okay. So he won a Best Supporting Actor Academy Award in Glory.
Oh yeah, Glory. Yeah, with Matthew Broderick.
Okay. Did you guys like that movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I don't know how I feel about slave movies, man.
We were just talking about this movie like 5 episodes ago, and I was kind of going off like, because Hollywood always does these movies where like they have the enlightened white guy, and he's like acting way better than he would have.
Like Brad Pitt in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh my god, yes.
Like just the white knight that saves the day.
Yeah, right. Like that man. I mean, they did exist, sure, but they were not as abundant as Hollywood likes to.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous to me.
Oh man.
Shit. What do you think about like movies that like depict like black culture, racism, whatever? Like do you think that's gotten better over time? Do you think it's got worse? Like, what's kind of your opinion on that?
Well, I'll let you answer that first.
Got the hard hitting questions.
Yeah. So I'm trying to answer that because I feel like I don't really know how to answer that, honestly.
Well, for me, I think there's good ways to tell a story and there's bad ways to tell a story. I think back then the approach was different. I think now, man, it's just a different audience, and with the movies they're putting out, the stories they're trying to tell is not what the audience really need to see, because half of the time it's fictionalized. Like, I don't know, you ever seen the movie Harriet?
No, I don't think I have. Do you want
exactly
to go back really quick?
No, that's the point. That they made a movie by Harriet Tubman and nobody cared about it.
Yeah, there was a comedian, Hans Kim. He did this bit where he was like, he was talking about like Black Panther, and he's like, yeah, black people finally have a hero, not like Harriet Tubman or you know, like,
right.
And he just started listing off all these like and he's like, now we have a pussy.
Man, yeah, Hollywood, they definitely, it's become more diverse, but man, I don't know, woke culture has definitely played a big part.
But it's crazy you brought up Black Panther. I was just watching a skit, I saw this like a year ago. I forgot who it was, but somebody was saying how, like, when you Google Black Panther, it's the MCU instead of like the actual organization. Black Panther.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So yeah, it actually like takes away light from like real like solutions in a black community, right? You know.
Yeah, they're conforming it and making it their own instead of like respecting it. Okay, so I didn't finish Black Panther because I don't know. I just the MCU movies. I don't know.
Trust me, I know, man. Trust me, I know.
MCU hater in the world.
Oh, really?
I know.
My man.
My God.
Watered down.
You know, you made a comment about Dark Knight, but you know you've turned it around. You're on my side now. No, I'm the same way. With those MCU movies, they're kind of just. I think Martin Scorsese said it best. They're not movies; they're theme park rides.
Facts, yeah. Because there's no story to telling that. Like he always tries to argue each movie leads to a bigger story. I want the movie to have its own story that I care about, not what comes next in another movie 2 years from now.
It does. It's like, just take Captain America: Civil War. You seen that?
No.
Okay. That just defeated my whole point. Goddamn, right?
I think we have this big argument because I'm a huge DC fan and he's a Marvel fan. And yes, there's been a lot of flops in the DC universe, but I feel like to me the best DC movies are what Zack Snyder directed. What? That's crazy. I feel like that was the best story told in the DC outside of what Nolan did. That comes next to me.
Damn. Well, Nolan's the fucking king of the DC universe, I would say. Here's the thing about Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder does a really good job with movie moments. Like, he makes really big cinematic moments that look really cool and they're, eye candy and it's appealing. But like when he tries to connect it all together, just I don't know. Like even 300. Like that movie was just weird and disconnected. I love
300 though. Man. The vision, like, I don't know. Like you said, he does create cool moments that keep you watching.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this: what do you think about like what's more important to you, like the visualization or the story behind it?
The story.
Yeah, the story for sure. I agree. But I feel like the visualization plays a part in it.
Yeah, definitely.
But the story, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in today's times, a lot of movies are heavily criticized for visual effects, and people don't really pay too much attention to the story.
No, because a lot of movies nowadays rely on too much CGI. Like, I understand we in advanced technology era, and it's easier for the actors, but at the same time, it's just like we want to like actually enjoy the movie, enjoy real scenes. Like take Mission Impossible for example. Tom Cruise, he doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
Like, little to no CGI in that movie.
Yeah, I will give him respect for that, 100%. Like, I need to watch more of those movies just for that aspect alone.
He does a lot because he produces all the movies, so pretty much all the effects are done practically.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember seeing that clip or hearing that clip of him when he was freaking out during?
Oh, God,
no, I didn't see that.
Like, I would have quit. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Molly. Pull that up.
Yeah,
we gotta listen to this shit.
That was almost as bad as Christian Bale.
Yeah, I do remember that one. Michael Cera's a good one too. His Flip Out.
Oh, he flipped out. Michael Cera, he seemed like a quiet guy.
No, well, yeah, but I mean, he's a quiet guy, but then he gets fucking. Oh yeah, hit that first one. You gotta unmute it.
According to The Sun, the UK tabloid who leaked audio of Tom scolding staff members, the movie star lashed out on set again on Tuesday, raising tensions even higher on the mission of
this was during.
Yeah,
this is in the height.
Remember I said they filmed it 3 years ago.
With the source adding, quote, "Tension has been building for months." And
see if you can find the original one. I hate these. I hate when they do the news. You like think it's the clip, and they're like, "Oh, it's just some jackass."
Yeah, clickbait is a bitch.
Type original clip after that. See if that helps. Okay, do that first one. Yeah. Yeah, the shit was just crazy.
Yeah, I don't think this was called for.
No, it was complete, like part of me, like, being someone who's been on sets, like, I get it, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It's such a thing that, like, and the ads, you gotta love the ads.
It's an authority thing. He realizes he has to hire authority, so pretty much he enforcing it on people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just play it through. We'll talk till it. But yeah, I mean, that whole thing was crazy. Just the hyperization around and all that. But like, however you feel about that situation, like chewing somebody out for like
in front of the entire crew.
You're back here in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs. I don't want to see it again. Ever.
And wasn't this because they were like standing close to each other or something?
They had their masks down.
Oh yeah. Ridiculous. And now looking back at this is even more ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Because masks literally made zero difference, and that's
zero.
That's been scientific.
Well, and they were outside too. They're outside shooting most of this shit. All right, you can. Damn. You can stop it. Yeah, that was a crazy time, man. Fucking, and that's kind of a weird thing too. Like that the film industry, like with that's something that's never really like been reconciled. Like that's one of those few industries, like being in video production, like that's one of the few industries like I still hear about COVID stuff. I still hear like people are still wearing masks and talk about vaccines.
Always testing rapidly every day.
Yeah,
I feel like really permanently change on like how a lot of studios or life in general just operate now.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you think back to like 5 years ago, like seeing somebody with a mask? And how like ridiculous that was, and now you like see him outside, and that's like a regular thing.
Yeah,
you're just like, all right.
Yeah. I would have, like you said, just looked at him weird because I don't know. Even now, it's still weird to me. Like you literally walking around with a mask on.
Yeah.
like I've seen people wear two at the same time. Like,
oh my god,
yeah, that's overdoing it right there. Especially like we're in 2023, like with all the controversy with because a lot of people saying it was a hoax, a lot of people saying it was just another form of the code. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like they're taking a lot less serious now, but it's still changed like life in general.
Yeah, well the problem is like it was just such an authoritarian thing, right? Like if it had just been kind of like hey, there's this really dangerous thing going on, like what we think is dangerous, and we want people to take these precautions, etc., but we're not going to force anything. Right. I think people would have like on either side, people would have handled that better. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't have Tom Cruise screaming at people because they put it down. Yeah. There's part of me like from a business aspect that's like I can understand why like a producer, like a manager would like flip out like that because there is a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you're going to be in that position, you have to be capable of like being a human being, right? Like treat people with respect.
Like you calling them motherfuckers and like come on now.
Right.
Yeah, crazy times, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, movies. We might have to cut that out. YouTube might. I had a lady come on here. She fucking she's talking about. Well, I think what we'll do is what my tactic is for what I always do is like I just cut out the word like what I just said.
Yeah, they're pretty bad about like not even copyright now, restricting videos for that.
Yeah, well, what they do is they transcribe it, and then if you have that keyword, they automatically flag it.
Wow.
At least I'm assuming that's how it works.
Yeah, I beeped out. I think he mentioned one episode, and I beeped it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for making me a headache.
I didn't know they still take it that serious. Like,
yeah, dude. You can't even talk about like stuff like from anything from 2020 is still like, yep, you can't talk about it.
Yeah, 2020 was a crazy year. Cause like we was all in the house, and then everybody was just on their phone sharing their opinions, and then that's how a lot got out, and then you had the with Biden and Trump.
Yeah,
that was just OD. Like.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this coming election? Do you have any predictions?
Hey, I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah. All I know is, if Trump is somehow able to become president while fighting the case, he the GOAT.
For real.
It's interesting. Like, that kind of killed it for him, I think. Like, I feel like since that, because
that's a federal case.
It really is. And, it's interesting because even though, like, Biden did the exact same fucking thing, like, it's still kind of one of those things where you have to be like, yeah, he did fuck up, you know? So, I don't know, like, I'm not super behind him, but, like, one candidate I really like is RFK. He has a lot of interesting, insights and inputs, and, he's very, like, very critical about like how we handled vaccines and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, and the thing that's interesting is he's running on a Democratic ticket.
Okay.
So he's challenging Biden, and I'm like, in my mind, that's kind of like, I can go for that candidate, right? I can go for the candidate who's like not going to be, crazy right-winged, whatever, but like still have some sense and be like, hey, I'm going to play it the smart way and like infiltrate from the inside. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I think. Well, we live in Dubuque. It's a small town, and I feel like they care about two things in Dubuque: politics and football. Like, you got Bears fans, you got Packers fans, and you got Trump supporters, you got Biden supporters, and pretty much you either pick a side or
like. And then there's people like us that just sit back, just watch them fight. Like,
yeah, I feel that. And I've kind of learn to like kind of take some steps away from politics myself over these last couple months because I mean, I think it's important. I think everybody should be like politically educated and understand what's going on about government and etc. But there is a point where it's like you're letting this just impact your life too much, where it's like things that are out of your control, like us talking is not going to change anything that happens in DC, right? So like unless maybe I'll get big and maybe I'll run for office.
Never know.
I kind of want to run for office as a joke. To run for president, just be.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Oh no, I wouldn't be serious. I would throw out some ridiculous campaign and just be like, yeah, we're gonna give everybody a hooker and we're gonna give them.
Hey, if Kanye can get some votes, you can get votes too.
Hey,
right?
See, they having fun in the White House. They found some coke in there.
We're making this the real White House.
Seriously.
It's the snow house now.
Oh man. Crazy times we live in there.
Yeah. What do y'all think about Kanye?
He made College Dropout.
Yeah. I respect him for that, man.
But, I appreciate, I don't know how do I want to work this without what he's doing. He can approach it better, if you filter yourself just a little bit, because he's exposing and telling the truth about a lot of stuff, but at the same time, just
he doing it in a very disrespectful and hateful way. The stuff he's saying, I can't condone it, man.
Yeah, did you guys see that Lex Friedman interview he did?
Which one was
Lex
that?
Friedman. Was that the one he's talking about the Nazis?
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was because I was kind of in the loop before that, and I was like hearing his stuff. I'm like, oh, he's just kind of going crazy. But you watch that interview, he's like, oh no, this man's like actually racist towards Jewish people.
It was bad, man. It was definitely bad.
It was really. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you this: do you think he's gonna have a comeback?
I mean,
I don't.
God damn it!
I don't really think you can cancel Kanye.
Yeah, he's too rich.
Yeah, he's too big. He's too big of a name.
Yeah.
Like, you take all the brand deals away from him. Like, look what happened to Adidas when they went their ways. Like,
going towards bankrupt.
yeah,
Are they right now?
Well, no, I'm like they were down like I want to say $250 million.
yeah, because they couldn't sell Yeezys no more. So like that shows the impact Kanye has, and so I don't really think there's no canceling him. So he really don't have a comeback to make. It's just like him getting a platform to say
Pretty
something.
much. Yeah, there's no more platforms for him anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. They just deplatform him.
Yeah, when you go on the Alex Jones show and he looks like the same one,
right?
That's when you know you're
Like because Alex Jones says
Isn't that the same dude that defended the mass shooting?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I don't think he defended it. I think he
He said it was like a hoax or something.
yeah, he said it was a hoax. Yeah.
Man, those masks Kanye wear, oh my, I sweat. So I'm looking at him, it just makes me sweat. Like, bro, you wear that all day in public.
Like basketball games, concerts, events. He just
The Netanyahu. I will never forget that.
You ever seen the Drewski video where Kanye was just staring with the stocking on his head? You looking at me?
No, was it?
Oh man, Drewski was recording Kanye at a concert. It was so funny.
Molly, I'm sorry. Do you think you can try to look that up? What Kanye West? What?
Yeah, just type in Drewski at Kanye West concert.
yeah, Drewski is a funny dude. Like if you go on his page, he will make you laugh for sure.
That
Yeah,
one?
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Okay,
it.
okay.
He was just staring.
You're looking at me.
Man,
I guess you just can't tell.
but I don't know. Speaking of Kanye, I gotta ask.
Sure.
What is your favorite album by him?
Probably Graduation.
Agreed.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a close second.
Oh, okay. All right. Hot take. This
You think
how
that's overrated?
No, not at all. But people kill me when I give this ranking of his albums. This how I got his albums ranked. I got Graduation,
Okay.
College Dropout,
Okay.
and this what people drill me at. Late Registration.
What?
Yeah, bro.
You know what? Honestly, I'll take it over Life of Pablo.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
He always grilling me because I love Life of Pablo.
No, okay. I got Late Registration. After that, I got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. After that, I got Yeezus. Then I got Life of Pablo.
You got Life of Pablo all the way at the bottom?
Yes.
He said it was his worst album?
He literally got 10 albums. So it's like,
No, that's Life of Pablo is top
You think it's
5
worse than
for
Jesus,
sure.
though?
Jesus was horrible.
Jesus was an awful album.
Yeezus?
Yeah, that was an awful
Yeah, that was-
album.
I liked it.
Nah, man. That
There was one single, and it was Black Skinhead.
No, wait, Yeezus. Wait, I'm just.
Can you look up Yeezus?
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll
Jesus,
make
that's
Molly
the one
work
he.
today.
I remember that's the one he took the picture for the album cover in like in
It
the
was
car.
like a CD thing.
Yeah, like the CD
It
one,
was like
right?
a CD cover, yeah. Yeah, Black Skin. I mean, okay, Bound 2 is technically hip. I mean, I don't know. That song's
man.
okay.
Life of Pablo is still some songs.
Black Skinhead's the only good track off the album.
Really, you think so?
I don't know. Blood and Leaves is okay. I guess New Slaves is alright. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's one of his.
Oh, I meant Yay.
Yeah, that's the one he took the album cover in the car. Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yay. That's what I meant. Yay, not Yeezus. Yay.
That the album he did with Cudi was really good too.
Man, I just can't get into Kid Cudi. The
No?
new Kid Cudi.
Oh yeah, well,
Like his
Tequila
last
Shots was like the only good song off.
His
that.
last album was like just not it, man.
Honestly, oh wait.
I think it's time for him to make a graceful exit.
I was never a big fan of Man on the Moon. Like, it's just
What?
Oh my god,
I don't know.
that vinyl, bro.
Man, I was listening to that.
Such a good album.
Kid Cudi was the guy in middle school.
it's some
man.
great songs that came off that album, but I just feel like he got a cult following that just keeps him relevant.
Yeah, you think it's more like nostalgia.
Yeah,
people
type
are
deal. Like
yeah,
you can
I
say
do
the
think
same
about
with
that.
Frank Ocean, or he don't even make music no more, or just
Wait, who? Frank Ocean?
yeah.
Yeah. He wait, Blonde. He had Blonde, and then a couple other singles.
Blonde and what's the Orange?
Orange Channel.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. Orange Channel's probably
Yeah, I love that.
It's hard to. Those are both such good albums.
Great.
I'm not a
albums,
big
but-
R&B guy, man.
I'm not either, but there's something about
Yeah.
Frank Ocean that's just like he does it poppier, so it's a little more
He
listenable.
only got what, like 1 or 2 albums?
2 albums, yeah.
And he's been out like 10 years.
I mean,
Yeah,
those
but-
are 2 great albums.
Yeah,
Like,
he spent I think 4 or 5 years on Blonde. Like he spent a long time making. I mean, a lot of it was legal reasons, but like, he spent like a long time making that album. Like he really made it crisp, and I don't know.
Did you ever hear the story of how he like technically finessed the rap game? Like
No.
he put out some. So he got money from a label. I could be wrong, but the money he got from his label, he put it towards a Decoy album. Dropped that like shitty project, whatever. The very next day, I think he dropped. It was
I did
Orange,
read this
or
on Shade Room.
I think he dropped Blonde. He dropped
was
Blonde,
Blonde.
and went number 1 in like 10 different countries as an independent artist.
Yes, I do remember that happening. It was he did like it was like a film with Apple or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like it was an album, but like he just put it out as a video. He
Right.
and then he released Blonde.
So I just think that was smart. How he just
That's really
smart.
exposed the industry like that, because
Yeah, it is smart. Well, and he was one of the first ones to like reject the Grammy. Like he was doing that way before like all these people have been.
Oh,
doing it.
yeah.
Like 2016, he got invited and he was like, "No, fuck you, I'm not doing the Grammys." Like,
I think Eminem did it before him.
oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I know Eminem. He was anti-Grammy for a while because
You never see Eminem, man.
Well, God, I don't know. Maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like he's falling off.
agreed.
I feel like
He's 50. I mean,
well,
Look at Lil Wayne.
he's been to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Lil
like,
Wayne's
look
still
at
killing it.
Bro, Lil Wayne was like 36, 37.
but look at all
No,
the mixtapes.
he's older than
Lil Wayne is
that.
not.
Yeah,
Lil
look up
Wayne,
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne can't be 40 yet. He's not.
No, he's
40.
not. I don't think he's 40 yet. He's
Really?
Yeah. Like
He did get started really
If
young.
he's, he got to be at least 40. No more than that.
40. Exactly
Oh, wow.
40.
Okay. But yeah,
That's impressive, though. I didn't think he was that young.
I don't like Eminem. Like I'll say,
Yeah, Eminem hater. He don't.
I love Eminem, but I'll say the last album I kind of like enjoyed by him was the Kamikaze album. That album got a lot of hate, but I
don't think
it
that was
a
that
lot-
good.
It was okay.
Quite
a couple
few,
hits.
Yeah, a couple hits.
That was the one with the
like,
American flag on the front, right?
with the jet.
No. That was
with the jet.
it was with the Jet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It was almost like a knockoff of the Beastie Boys.
I like what he did with the last album. Like he kind of played "Music to Be Murdered By." It was like a.
Oh, that album was trash.
But
bro.
it was. I love what he did with the Hitchcock. Like how he did the album rollout.
Oh, I didn't even listen to it.
I love Alfred Hitchcock movies, so like,
Hell yeah.
I love what he did. Like in the beginning of those first like couple of songs.
Hell yeah.
Like you watching the Alfred Hitchcock movie?
Yes, yeah. I was just about to say, like Rear Window is like that's probably my all-time favorite one by him. But like I feel like I grew up in a really like restrictive household. Like my parents were like strict Catholic, and, like just really like a lot of censorship. So like. A lot of people like grew up watching anime and shit. Like I grew up watching like old movies, and Rear Window was like I started watching that shit when I was like 8, and I just like I love that movie. Ever since I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Man, no Psycho.
Psycho's good. I don't think it's better though.
What? Psycho is a classic. I think that started the whole slasher thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look, they was it the scene from Psycho where I think they did 72 different cuts.
Of the shower scene?
Yeah, there's like 72 different cuts in that scene. Yeah.
Wow.
Molly, I'm so sorry. You're gonna hate me. Play the scene from Psycho, but just make sure to mute the sound so we don't.
Yeah, I know it was a lot of there were a lot of camera cuts in that part. Yeah.
Why did
But
they?
that's one of the most iconic kill scenes in the horror movie.
Yeah.
Really? Why did
I don't
they
know. I just
retake
feel
it?
like it ended weird. You know.
With that, I think it ended with him smiling, and then it cut to black at the end when they found the car in the swamp.
Yeah, but it just kind of had a weird.
It's Hitchcock, man.
Do it like right there. Yeah.
You know that's Jamie Lee Curtis's mother.
Really?
Yeah,
How
That's
did
insane.
I not know that?
that's crazy. Mother and daughter are the original Scream Queens.
Well, wasn't she related to Hitchcock in some way through marriage or something?
I'm not sure. I know.
I'm not sure
What's her name?
either.
Janet Leigh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta give it Let the Killer. You know, it's too bad they just didn't tilt that camera down a little more. You know, just give it a couple more feet down. Too bad it's the 60s, man. Dude, if they they did remake this movie, but like this now, it'd be bad.
Yeah. Did you see the remake with Vince Vaughn?
No, I heard it was so bad.
It was horrible. They literally tried to copy and paste everything.
Sure. Oh, of course.
It just didn't work.
So yeah, obviously they're kind of dragging out the cuts, but like, yeah, when this hits,
all I hear is the music.
See how many cuts they do. It's like a cut every second.
Up top, close shot, over. Yeah.
Like every.
I know they shot this a bunch of times.
Oh wow.
No stab wounds.
Yeah, I mean it's the 60s.
It's the 60s. Oh yeah. Did every girl back then look like Marilyn Monroe, or?
I know.
Pretty much. That was like the look.
That was the typical movie star back then. Yeah. They wanted a blonde female.
That's good. Yeah, I'm fucking crazy. I mean, it is a really good movie, but I don't know. There's just something about Rear Window, I think it's just how it's told. It's told in a really interesting way.
Yeah, Hitchcock has a very unique style.
Exactly. Vertigo, I also really enjoyed Vertigo. That was a fucking good movie.
Vertigo's a classic.
Like that ending, you're just like.
I watched that in a film class one time.
Oh, really?
That's how I've heard of a lot of these classes. Just taking different film classes.
Hell yeah. No, Hitchcock's the man. I really want to see that. They did the movie. They did like the. I think Anthony Hopkins was in it. Anthony Hopkins played Hitchcock.
He played Hitchcock in the movie?
I think so. Maybe I'm full of shit. I'm sorry, Molly. I'm really putting you to work. So it happens when you talk movies. Yeah, try just Hitchcock, yeah.
I didn't know he's playing Hitchcock. Anthony Hopkins. Hello.
Yep.
Hello, Clarice.
That's a great movie, too. But yeah, man, I need to watch that one, but... Yeah, Hitchcock's a man. I mean, shit, the master of suspense. I think it's appropriately named.
Yeah, a lot of movies, a lot of people follow his formula.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of a thing that I think that's really missing in most horror movies is they went away from that, like the genius, like suspensefulness of Hitchcock. It kind of came from that, or went away from that to like the gory, which is fine. I mean, like me and Molly watch gory horror movies all the time.
You don't got the storytellers anymore. You don't got the Wes Cravens, the John Carpenters anymore.
Actually, did you see the new Scream 6?
No, I haven't yet.
Man, I really love the suspense in that. It's
good. I heard it was good.
It was great. One of the best Scream movies I ever seen, besides the original one.
I only saw the first two. That's another one.
Those were the best ones, to be honest.
No.
Well, part 6 is really good.
6.
Part 6.
You have to watch part 5 to understand part 6. Part 5 was okay, but 6 took it to another level because you got the acting, you got the story, and you got that suspense. And it's like, and it wasn't predictable like a typical Scream movie. You know how it's all predictable.
Sure.
No, the twist and turn in this movie was crazy.
Yeah, and awesome. they kind of went the meta way. It was very meta. Like they weren't running from the stereotypes of the movie. They were making jokes of it in the dialogue.
I see. Well, and I can appreciate that because I think that's what made the first Scream so good.
Yeah, Wes Craven was a master, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that was genius about him making that movie is like he was so fundamental in the beginning of horror. So for him to like kind of dial it back and almost make fun of himself and like the genre as a whole. Like literally, like talking about like Nightmare on Elm, like having characters talk about.
Yeah, he threw a joke in there. I was watching a documentary on how like the behind the scenes of all that going on.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, what do you guys have like a favorite horror director?
Horror director?
Yeah.
Wow. Like you said, I got 3.
Okay.
John Carpenter.
Hell yeah.
Wes Craven.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, that's a good.
Wait, who filmed the Michael Myers?
John Carpenter.
Okay, John Carpenter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great one. That's a great question. Horror.
You guys fuck with Ari Aster?
What movie did he make?
He's a newer one. He did Hereditary, Midsommar. He just did
I heard of Hereditary.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. It was not good to me. I remember going. I swear.
Leave.
I remember going to the theater. We had the options to watch Hereditary or what just came out. It was a cartoon movie just came out. So I saw it in 3D. I really wish I saw that cartoon movie in 3D. Like, oh, it just wasn't like appealing to me. Like,
what are some of the greatest horror movies of all time? To you? If you could name 3.
Exorcist.
Okay.
Probably Halloween. Honestly, I mean, it was the first.
The OG.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it was the first slasher movie. I mean, the first
real
slasher.
Slasher. Yeah.
Honestly, I gotta say Hereditary.
I gotta watch it. I gotta check it out.
It's the scariest. Like, to this day, I've seen the movie like probably 4 or 5 times, and it still scares the shit out of me.
You know what?
Watch it.
What movie I would put over Hereditary?
Sure.
Insidious. The Insidious.
I haven't watched that since like 2010.
It's a good movie, but it's not as good as Hereditary.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yes. Like the story and how like number 3 connected back to number 1. I don't know. It was just all great to me, and it was fucking terrifying. Like that one scene when they're at the table, and then like the red face. Like you cannot tell me you ain't almost pissed your pants when you saw that.
Well, look, I mean, Insidious has great jump scares, but I think there's something about Hereditary where, like what we were talking about before, like it truly built. I think it had the best of both worlds.
They give you that true horror feel.
Yeah, it had the true horror feel, and it also had the jump scare effect.
Okay,
like there's a scene where like. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a scene where someone's head comes off, and it's like it's all dragged out, and then just like cuts to the rotting head on the road, and it's like so jarring. You're like, to this day, I have to like cover my eyes because I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking. Yeah, Ari Aster's the man. But yeah, those are probably my top 3: Hereditary, Halloween. Shit. Well, we're about to start a movie horror podcast, so maybe that'll be one of the 3 movies that we'll do.
It's great. Me and Cellus actually going to a horror convention in a couple weeks.
Ooh, yeah. Where at?
It's in Chicago. Well, it's in Chicago. It's called Flashback Weekend.
Oh, okay.
And the lineup they got there is crazy. Like,
yeah, they got Dick Warlock. He played Michael Myers in Halloween 2.
Ooh, interesting.
They got Kane Hodder.
Yeah, Kane Hodder.
He played Jason in 4 of the Friday the 13th movies.
They got the original kid from Child's Play. What's his name?
Andy Barkley.
Yeah. He's going to be there.
Interesting. Yeah. You know, I almost had if they're listening, reach out to me. But I had come in contact with the guy who played Jason in like the first Friday the 13th, but like as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Because you know that first one, it's like his mom. And then the second one is Jason. But yeah, I had a mutual friend who knew him because like I guess he does a lot of stuff with rock bands and stuff now. That kid, the kid obviously he's grown up. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was
you talking about the kid from the original movie that came up in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was about to have him on. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to hit him up again. But
that'd be dope.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, horror is definitely one of my favorite genres. That's something I could just sit and watch all day.
I agree. Do you think that it's improved or
no?
You think it's going down?
Yeah,
I feel like
it's only going down.
I feel like they're relying too much on nostalgia. We're getting a lot of remakes. Like,
yeah, well, that's just the film industry in general.
Yeah, I think they're running out of ideas for horror movies because you don't got those same pillars of the community still standing around. Like I said, the John Carpenters or the Wes Cravens, who can tell their own stories and keep it scary while also keeping the audience engaged with what's going on.
Yeah. Well, the problem with horror movies is they're so cheap to make.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it's, of course, going to be the genre that people are just going to be like, okay, we'll just do this, and we'll make money off it.
Yeah, because essentially, like, all horror movies back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s, were all low budget. They were all made on $1 million.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I do agree with you, but I do think in a sense, like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of fallen off in the last couple of years, but I felt like the 2010s was like a great decade for horror. I feel like that was just quality horror films.
Yeah.
That decade, they had The Babadook, what was it? Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe was
that was
Don't Breathe.
One.
Yeah, I saw that.
What was that? You never saw it?
I saw that. Yeah, Don't Breathe. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else came out in that era. Well, I was only 10, so it's like it's hard to like really think.
How old are you guys?
I'm 22.
I'm 23.
God damn. Yeah. Y'all got like 10 years on. Fuck, I'm almost 28.
Yeah, you're still young, man.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me. I feel old, but
just watch some Gary V videos.
Gary V?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know who Gary V is?
I don't know who that honestly.
Oh my! It's like some dude. He be on like social media. He's like 50. He like, oh, I worked with my dad in a wine store when I was 28. You're a fucking baby. You have time to do what you want. Like he's a great motivational speaker. I'm not gonna lie. Like
what type of motivation you get?
like if y'all watch his videos, y'all know exactly. Y'all gonna see.
That's like some David Goggins shit. You guys heard of him?
Oh, that dude is fucking insane.
He is insane. Well, I was listening to the first episode. He was on Joe Rogan. He said, "Motivation is for pussies. It's drive and obsession."
Like, bro,
sound like a top G.
Like he was in the Navy SEALs or was it the Marines? Navy SEALs.
Navy SEAls. Yeah.
And he got the world record for pull-ups, and he got some type of like record for like most miles ran in a marathon or the fastest time in a marathon or something.
I think it was I don't think it was the fastest. I think it was the most miles. He did. I'm trying to remember what the number was. I want to say it was like 200 miles in 36 hours.
Yeah,
running for 36 hours straight.
Like the dude mindset is just
he
like
got
on
a
another
podcast.
level. He was on a Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, okay.
I think
he
he
got
has
a
his
book
own
out.
too.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, do we?
All kind
I
of
think
people
so.
on, man.
That's one thing I like about Joe Rogan's like he's so well diverse and he's kind of like in the middle with like all like his guests because he has politicians, comedians, actors, athletes. So yeah, that's one thing I like about Joe Rogan.
What are some of your favorite podcasts?
You know, it changes and fades. Right now I'm really into the Lex Fridman show. I've been into him for a while, but I think I don't know, him as an interviewer, I kind of like sometimes he kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, I think he kind of pussies out. Like he interviewed like Mark Zuckerberg, and like I was like screaming at the radio like, no, ask him this question. You know? And he had the CEO for Pfizer on. It was like the same thing. I'm like yelling at the stereo like, you motherfucker.
Gotta save face.
Yeah. But I think the benefit to Lex Fridman is I think he tries to do the same thing as Joe Rogan, but he's able to have a more middle ground type, able to pull from both sides a lot easier than Joe Rogan, because however you feel about him, like Joe Rogan has kind of like through the media or whatever, he kind of has like a right leaning aurora to him. Like people just kind of assume that when they think of Joe Rogan, they think he's like on the right, which isn't true.
Yeah, I mean,
but like,
if anybody thinking that, watch the episode with Ben Shapiro or Shapiro. Yeah. Going back and forth with him, that's when I realized Joe Rogan's not like right wing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one issue that they really disagree on is like gay marriage. And like he'll tell him that to his face. He's like, yeah, I don't agree with your opinion on gay marriage. Like I think it's okay, and Ben Shapiro's against it.
Yeah.
Well,
with Ben, I think it's like religious beliefs with him.
It's I do like a lot of like Ben Shapiro, like in his prime, quote unquote his prime. Like I did really like a lot of like the because he was like at the forefront of like the anti-woke stuff, right? So I mean, in hindsight, it's kind of stupid that he's like arguing with college kids, but at the same time, like he brought a lot of like interesting points.
For sure.
The thing, Jordan Peterson also did that, and it's kind of weird over talking about like the 2010s, like that was kind of their prime, and then like Jordan Peterson kind of fell off, Shapiro kind of fell off, but like those ideas still like resonate.
It's just different times, man. Everybody having their own personal voice on the internet now. Like a lot of people aren't paying attention to those people that maybe were on all these big platforms now.
Right. Yeah. And times are changing. Like just think about like early 2000, if you came out as gay, like man, you'll get crucified. But nowadays it's accepted, and I'm with that.
I am too. We had actually Aubrey. We had Aubrey on this last episode, and he was telling like, I don't really get emotional in the podcast, but like that was like when he told me this, it was like the only time that like with a guest I've been emotional. He told me about because his brother passed away. His brother took his own life, and he was like coming out, like he was struggling with his own sexuality and like trying to figure out if he was a homosexual or not. And he confronted he abided like in this pastor's wife or something, and he like asked her about it, and he was like, hey, I'm really struggling, like I have these feelings, but like I'm Christian, so. And then she kind of just like was really flippant and just kind of like told him like, oh, like how you're feeling is wrong. And like that conversation happened like days before he killed himself.
Wow.
And like he was telling me this, and I was just like, oh my god, like
That's crazy.
it fucking hurts, man.
Yeah, that's insane. Like,
You just never know what the demons people battling on the inside.
exactly. And like the fact that he went to someone he thought he can trust, and like,
And they just
yeah,
they that could be the reason that he's not here today. You know?
exactly,
It's
man.
fucked up.
I think a lot of people struggle with that though. Like they put on a brave face in front of others.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I've done that before, but because I don't think people I don't see the hesitation in letting others know when you're going through a rough time. I've learned to come out of that, and I feel like I've been doing better ever since.
I think most people are afraid of the judgment. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like it could be a pride thing, or it could be just like, hey, I'm figuring out my own thing. But I don't know. Like, I like to get through it, then tell people, because like if I gotta trust somebody to like, you know, really trust somebody.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. This is just for me, but I mean, like, I have a hard time like figuring out like, okay, who are the people that I can like tell this really intimate shit to?
Right.
You know, it's in the world of like social media, and like, you know, people are so quick to just switch sides or backstab. You know,
For
if you
real.
say one thing, you know, it's hard. It's a hard world. Like, you know, all the benefits of social media aside, like it's also making us really lonely.
Yeah.
I think when you have a platform where people can just spit out their opinion all day, that's gonna like create a persona that you may not necessarily like, intend to have, and then that's gonna drive people away. You know, that's really sad.
It's definitely. I think social media is very divisive because you got people who voice their opinions, but there's also the same argument. Oh, my opinion matters more than yours. And then a lot of cyberbullying, man, because you go on celebrities' pages and just look at the comments. Oh my god, bro!
I will say I'm not as sympathetic to celebrities because they're worth millions of dollars.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Yeah, if they hate looking at their social media, they can hire someone to do it for them. You know? Right? I don't give a fuck. Katy Perry's butthurt because someone called her name. I don't.
Oh my god, that video of her eye, like she was like twitching. She was smacking her face, making her eye go straight. It was bad. She was glitching out, man. You didn't see that?
No.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, Molly. Can you? What is Katy Perry twitching?
Yeah. Go like type in Katy Perry eye or like eye. It was bad.
Not Eye of the Tiger.
It was at a concert.
Type in. Oh, do that second one. Try that second one.
Yeah, it's that right there.
What mistake was on, man?
You see an eye?
She is tripping, bro.
Oh my god, her eye, bro.
What?
Look at that.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, do you think she had the thing that Justin Bieber had when
That's what I thought.
half of his face was paralyzed?
Make even more noise for my band.
Are those like cans under cans? Is that what that is? What? Like it looked like she had like a can, bro.
I don't know, man.
Pause that. Yeah. Those are cans on her cans.
Yeah, she's known for having different attires from the average pop star.
Yeah.
Her T1000 eye just started glitching out. That was a Terminator reference.
Yeah.
Nobody caught that.
Right. I caught that. I am from the future. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth.
In the future, there's no Katy Perry.
Man, I love that movie.
I love that
yeah.
franchise, honestly.
I wouldn't say the franchise. The first two movies are good.
Really?
Yeah. The two James Cameron directed.
Yeah. Those were only the really good two. I agree. The third one was okay, but like again, that was more of a visual thing. Like the reason that movie was enjoyable was because it was like visually at the time you're like, oh my god, this is crazy. Yeah, T2. I fucking that was the first movie I watched on acid actually.
How did that go?
That was awesome. I was crying at the end. He's like getting lifted in lava. I'm like, oh my god, I've connected with this robot way more than I thought I would.
Man. What do you think of James Cameron though?
Oh, I mean, I think he's fantastic. I mean, what's he even done recently?
Avatar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Avatar I don't like. I'm not a fan of Avatar.
It's a great story. It's just so long.
It's Pocahontas, bro.
Facts.
It just made me rethink life. Damn. Oh my God.
You wanna know what's crazy? You know Josiah, you know those big machines that they had the army generals standing in that had the long arm? That was the same thing from Aliens 2.
Literally the exact same thing.
The exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, people talk shit about Titanic like it's like a chick flick or whatever. I think it's a fantastic film. I'll sit down and watch that tonight. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's like the spectacle of it, and like it's a great story.
You think he could have fit on the
I saw a meme recently where it was like there's no room, and it's like the board, and it also has like flower pots.
Oh man,
there was so much fucking room on that thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Leo didn't win an Oscar for that.
No, yeah.
Like
he was still really young.
Yeah, he was definitely still like, I wouldn't say new to acting, but he didn't have very many major roles under his belt at that point. I think he had What's Eating Gilbert's great at that time.
Yep. Well, actually, he did win an Oscar for that.
He won an Oscar for that? Yeah, I could see that. That was a good role for him.
Yeah.
He was, how old was he?
He was like 19.
Really? He was young.
No, he was younger than that.
He was? Oh.
For What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I know he was young. He was young.
Yeah, who else was in that movie?
Johnny Depp.
Yep. Him and Johnny Depp, yep.
Yep. I want to say he was like 12 when he made that movie.
Yeah, because he was super young.
Like, I killed him, Gilbert.
Oh, he was 19?
Oh, he was. Look at Cellus.
Full shit.
Cellus doing his homework.
That's a great movie, man. Great movie.
Yeah, The Wolf on Wall Street is one thing he should have won.
That's another Martin Scorsese movie,
Man.
That was a great film. I saw funny story about that movie. I saw that in the theater. That was like one of the first dates with the girlfriend I had at the time, and we were like 17, like just able to get into an horror movie.
Right.
And we go to the counter, and this is like small town Iowa, so it's even funnier. And they're like, "Just warning you, this movie's a little racy." And we get it. It's like, this is a porno.
Yeah. Man, that scene with him and Matthew McConaughey when he's beating on the table, like, so funny to me. That's the funniest thing I ever heard, talking about jerking off. Yeah. I jerk off 3 times a day, like it's nothing.
Oh man.
Yeah, he walked away from Oscar from that.
He did?
Kanye. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was only in that movie for like 10 minutes.
Really? Damn, thanks.
Wow, yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know that was like Margot Robbie's like big debut.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cause she played. Did she play his wife?
Yep.
Man, she's so beautiful.
Yeah. You guys gonna see that new Barbie movie?
I already saw it.
Probably not.
No, I'm kidding. Nah.
Probably not. I don't know.
No.
Not really for me.
We are gonna go see Oppenheimer this weekend.
I want to check it out just because it's a Nolan movie, but I don't get why are they pairing the promotion with that movie with Barbie? They're calling it Barbieheimer.
Yeah, so I mean, they just happened to come out the same weekend, so then I think everybody just was like, "Oh, we're good."
Like, I guess that the company didn't have to put any promo into it because Barbie's doing the promo itself for the movie. Like,
yeah,
I think if Barbie wasn't promoting this movie, it would do horrible at the box office.
Yeah, I understand where the movie's coming from. Like, they're trying to do like satirical and like making fun of it, but I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna be that good.
Is this a story we really needed about the guy that created the atomic bomb that killed over 125,000 people?
Yeah, man. I mean, Ukraine. I mean, come on. I mean, this movie is so historically relevant. I mean, I think it's probably the most historically. It might be the most historically relevant movie of the decade, in my opinion. I don't know. Like,
I mean, you're right. This guy definitely did change the world.
Yeah.
But man, like I said, man, I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like, I don't know. I trust Christopher Nolan to tell a good story. Yeah. So I think I'm looking at it from the outside.
Yeah.
This is the guy that made the atomic bomb. That's all I'm looking at it as.
Right.
Instead of like what was truly going on at the time.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think if you're going to get that nitpicky with it, then I don't know what to tell you.
No. I'm not looking at it like that.
No, I wasn't saying you. I just just people in general. People are going to be like, oh, like you're going to have like a book in the theater. You're going to be like, that's wrong. No, I'm really excited for it. I think was it Roger Ebert? He said, criticizing films is important because films are important.
Right.
And I'm a huge believer in that. Any kind of media form, but especially film. Like, there's so many times in history where it's just changed, like, the cultural and, like, audience opinion on things, and, like, I think it's important. Think of look at like AI, right? Like like a movie like Ex Machina, or even a movie like 2001: Space Odyssey, and like how much of a role those movies have played into like how AI is both presented to us and how we understand it. I mean, it's insane.
And what's crazy is a lot of these people are ahead of the time, like, man, because a lot of these movie directors and writers, they predicted the AI situation before it even happened.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Yeah,
they were fucking on point with all the computer shit.
Yeah, like look at Terminator.
Yeah.
like they trying to put chips in humans now.
What do you guys think about AI?
I think it's cool and dangerous at the same time.
Yeah, for real.
Like I love hearing these new AI songs coming out because I love AI Drake. I'm a huge fan.
But it's just too real at the same time. Just imagine you in court and you hear your voice on something you didn't do. Like,
that's the scary thing, man. That's the really scary thing.
Or this Chat GPT stuff where it's like, man, and now you see the now that the writer strike and the actor strike are going on, they're trying to use actors' likeness from AI and use their voice, and they're using AI to write scripts now. So, yeah.
Do you think it's ever gonna hit that? Do you think it's ever gonna hit that point where like ChatGPT is able to do it as good as people are?
Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, you think it will?
Yeah,
no,
man.
It just takes all the authenticity out of it, like the energy out of it, because it's like computerized essentially. Honestly,
nah, man. I think humans all have patterns, and when there's a great system built within to catch that pattern, it picks up. Like for instance, what we saw in Mission Impossible. The whole base of that movie, the newer one, is this big entity, like an artificial intelligence system that picks up patterns and basically gets to know the human just from answering a few questions.
Damn.
So that's how I feel about AI. I think it's only gonna get more advanced throughout the years, and honestly, within the next 5 to 10 years, it could be pretty dangerous.
Like with AI, like I said, they're just robots. Yeah, they pick up, but with humans, we have feelings, emotions, and stuff. So
yeah, we have original ideas. I think that's like here. I guess here's my take on AI. If it gets a consciousness, like if it gains consciousness, then we're fucked. Then it's gonna be a superior being, and it's going to be able to do these things.
Right.
But right now, I don't know. It doesn't seem like I don't know. It's weird. Like I tend to be on the more optimistic side of AI. Like I just don't see it crossing that path. Like right now, the reason AI, like, it's impressive as fuck. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But all it's doing is pulling from the internet. It's not create. I mean, it's kind of creating new ideas, but it's not like purely new. It's like, oh, here's an idea based off this, and I'm going to create it into one thing.
I mean, but isn't it crazy though how it just can like build this own like let's say for a movie script, it can give you a whole movie script just out of nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, quality, man.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
from what I've heard, it's been pretty shitty stories made out of the AIs.
But you know what's interesting? I was listening to a podcast today, and one of the guys was talking about how his little nephew, like watches like AI built stuff, and they love it. I think that's an interesting point that I didn't think of. Like, you know, maybe our generation is able to see like, hey, this is just AI, but the younger generations, like, maybe they're going to be fooled, and they're going to think, oh, this is like great, this is fantastic, and then that's going to change the time.
Yeah, but using AI for actors' likeness and voice, that got to be fucked up. I see why they're striking right now.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what the use of a strike is personally. I think the better alternative would just be like, hey, let's make our own shit.
I think independent movies is definitely the way to go. But like you said, actors got to pay the bills, and in the acting business, there's no guarantees. Like you live from job to job.
Yep.
But with streaming now, it's so fucked up because that's a lot of missed money that's going to the executive's pocket.
Yeah,
like, because you can have the #1 streaming show, but you don't see those residuals.
Yeah, we recently had Luane White on, who I've worked with him. He does independent films and stuff. And his take on it was like the problem isn't that the AI is going to beat the writers necessarily. It's that the executives are going to look at this and see if that's a cheaper option and just go that route. And that's, it's just going to be, at the end of the day, we're just going to have to see what happens. Right. I think the next few years, these things are going to play out. Going back to Oppenheimer, maybe a movie like that. I don't think an AI could create a 3-hour epic about.
Especially can't copy Nolan style.
Exactly. Right. I don't know, man. It could happen, but I tend to be optimistic.
Yeah, I'm just pissed about all the movies and TV shows that are being shut down now. Because now your favorite show or movie won't come out for a few years. Like you saw, they pushed Euphoria back to 2026.
I never saw that.
Oh, man,
I was late on it too.
Me too.
But once I got all my bias out of it and I actually watched it for myself, it's a good watch.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, that I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but that show has always been kind of like I haven't seen it, but I always kind of assumed it was kind of just like the woke wash type of show.
Nah, it's definitely not, man. No, I think it has a story for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's an ensemble cast. It's not just built around one character. Yeah, everybody's having their own struggles.
I see.
Man, it definitely has something for everybody that has their own personal problem.
Right.
Yeah, well, like I always say, I'll add it to the list, I guess. Shit, I've been watching The Wire.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, my brother used to watch that all the time. Yeah.
You know what? I just started watching that recently.
Really?
I'm on season 3 so far.
Ooh, I'm on season 3 right now.
Yeah.
Too.
So because my cousin told me to watch it because I love crime drama. That's some of my favorite TV shows are crime drama, like Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, or Power. So. Yeah, I've been trying to watch The Wire just to see what the hype is, and it's actually really good.
It's so good.
It was. I feel like I'm not gonna say it was before its time because a lot of that was going on back when that came out. But you see a lot of modern day TV shows. I wouldn't say ripping from it, but kind of you see similarities in it.
Sure,
kind of.
Well, the thing that's the thing that's so unique about that show compared to every other cop show is that every other cop show has a bias, right? They're these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. The Wire has no good guys. Everybody's a piece of shit. Yeah. The cops, the criminals, everybody's dirty, just, man. Yeah, they have no moral fiber. They're just they're doing it for. I saw an essay that kind of laid it out perfectly. There's a scene in the first season where D'Angelo's talking to his other the other dealers or whatever about and they're doing a chess game. And he's basically just he sets up the theme for the show, which is the chain of command. The whole theme of the show is you're just in the chain of command. And you just gotta follow your.
Was that the pilot?
I don't think it was the pilot. It might have been one of the first couple episodes. But yeah, I just kind of set up the theme for the whole show, where it's on the police side, there's you got your lieutenant, sergeant, whatever, and on the drug side, it's hey, your boss or whatever, the capo, as the Italians would say. They're the head G, so. Yeah, man.
Well, I love crime. Crime is some of my favorite genre to watch, man. But I think Martin Scorsese, his movies really got me hooked on to that genre. Because Goodfellas is an amazing movie. Oh my God,
such a good
great movie. Yeah.
Goodfellas. Well, hot take. I enjoy Casino so much better.
Really?
I think it's because, don't get me wrong. I think it's because Sharon.
I had the same reaction.
Goodfellas is a great movie. Goodfellas is a great movie, man. Goodfellas is a great movie. Definitely one of the greatest movies of all time, man. But I think, man, what Sharon Stone, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci all brought to that movie is just unmatched.
I don't know. I think they brought it to Goodfellas.
I don't know, man. I think not. Well, I can't. Joe Pesci kind of played the same character he didn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Robert De Niro, he was just so good in that movie. Seeing him in the leading role.
Yeah, he was good. I don't know. I only saw the Casino the one time. It was okay. I don't know.
That movie's definitely good. And what's crazy is it's a true story. Everything that was going on in Vegas at the time with the Italians.
It's great. A lot of those movies are true stories. From Sopranos, Goodfellas.
Sopranos is unmatched. That's one of the greatest TV shows.
I think it's the greatest, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know, man. Breaking Bad is really good.
I don't know. I think... Breaking Bad had moments that were just way too dragged out. And people say that about The Sopranos too, but in my opinion, I think every episode is a little mini movie, and it all everything connects.
With The Sopranos, definitely.
Everything connects, but Breaking Bad, there's just these moments where it's high action, and then they're eating dinner for 10 minutes.
It was network TV.
Yeah.
You gotta think, and that was like old school HBO, so it's definitely a different vibe.
That's a very good point. Yeah, they had a different market to appeal to. Crazy times, man. Well, shit, we've been going for almost an hour and a half at this point.
I don't even feel like it.
Yeah, that's what happens in the studio. Time flies, you know. Obviously, you guys are the Infamous Goats. Where can people find you? What you guys got coming up pipeline?
Well, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Infamous G.O.A.T.S Podcast, and you can follow us on Instagram at Infamous G.O.A.T.S Pod.
And you can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Infamous G.O.A.T.S.
Hell yeah. Well, it's a pleasure having you guys in.
For sure,
I look forward to
I
look forward to coming on your show next week and kind of seeing what you guys have to throw on.
I got some music questions for you too. Like I want to pick your brain about music now. Like I'm a music fanatic. I love music. Like
it's gonna be a vibe, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we'll do it. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. McAllister's podcast every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. We're on Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. We also have a Patreon where you can find exclusive content, behind the scenes footage, extra episodes, shit like that. We also have a website, and you can, I guess you can't donate. The best way to donate would be the Patreon. We're also gonna, by the time this episode airs, we'll have a donation link for our upcoming film, The Chronic Crusaders. I highly encourage everybody to donate to that. If you want to see a stoner comedy where Kim Reynolds is the villain, check that shit out. It's gonna be great. All right, guys, have a good night.
Peace.